there's a sauna in here when you work. Yeah. Oh, your mom knows. Can you see the tongue punching down?
And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this special Facebook Live from inside the Tennessee Aquarium's Butterfly Garden. You know, this is one of my favorite places of the aquarium throughout the year. It's one of those spots where if I need a little bit of a break, I can come over here and just kind of enjoy the butterflies fluttering around, enjoy the beautiful flowers, and just take a few moments to just kind of relax and enjoy the sights. And so that's what we hope to do today, is to provide you with a little bit of information and to provide you with some of the sights from inside the butterfly garden and talk a little bit all things butterfly. We would love to have you ask questions today, so just submit your questions as we go along in the comments box, and we will answer as many of those as possible. This is part of our effort to stay connected with you and to give you some really fun content to enjoy, and we're so glad to have Christine Bock Hunt here. Christine is a horticulture expert and also butterfly expert. And Christine, you've brought a lot of your friends out here to talk with folks. So let's start with the ones that are on the table down here.
So in this garden, butterflies either like fermented fruit or they like nectar. And these guys here are owl butterflies, and they like the fermented fruits. And look at, they got an eye spot on each side of their wing. And so when they're flying, they would look like an owl face. So they're doing this to scare birds off. So, you know, everybody likes to eat butterflies, so they have to disguise themselves. Yeah. And they do it in a lot of different ways.
So this is really cool because you're actually getting to see their tongues kind of sticking out. Tell us about that, what they're doing.
So the tongues, this is called a proboscis, and they unfurl it. They usually keep it curled up, and they unfurl it and they stick it down into the nectar or of the flower or the fruit, and they also, you know, they are tasting with their feet. So sometimes when people come in the garden and they've just had that antibacterial soap on them, they won't like to sit on their hands. They actually taste with their feet. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, they taste with their feet and have a built-in straw to eat some of that fruit. And you know, one of the things that we're very fortunate to have is experts like you and our many horticulture volunteers that really add to the aquarium experience. So talk about some of the plants you have here for the butterflies.
Okay. So we have butterfly, this is all tropical butterflies. We do have a couple like, sulfurs or monarchs that we have in this area as well. But the majority of the butterflies you see in here are tropical. And these are tropical plants that bloom all year round. And this is an Exora. You can remember it because an X has 4 points, and all of the flowers have 4 little points, 4 little petals. They love Exora. It's not one you often find in your garden center. But then we have this plant here you can find in your garden center when things warm up. And it's called pentas, penta meaning 5. So it has 5 petals. It has the greatest nectar. It blooms all summer long. And it's really worth it for you to buy this for your garden. Even though in the fall it won't live through the winter.
So Christine, if somebody was to go to the garden store here in a few weeks after everything's safe for people to get out and about again, what kind of butterflies would you attract to your yard with pentas?
Well, you're not going to get the pentas quite in a couple weeks. Really, you know, butterfly season doesn't start until like it warms up closer to September, believe it or not. But they do have something in the garden center that's called dianthus. And dianthus it likes cool weather. Well, it happens to have great nectar. So this is a really good thing to put in your garden because you can find it, and those starving butterflies that come through, they will like it.
So we're getting some great questions. Thanks for submitting them, and keep them coming. Christine, the first one is, can butterflies survive in cold climates?
No, not when it's real cold.
Okay, very, very quick and easy answer there. And then Nathaniel has asked, what is the rarest butterfly that we have here at the Tennessee Aquarium?
Sometimes we get a butterfly called birdwing, and it's very big. And we love when we have that. And sometimes we get the Atlas moth, and we love that as well. And it's very huge. It's the only moth that we have.
Okay, everybody's butterfly fans. We got a lot of them watching, and guess what, butterfly fans? Christine has a bunch of them to release into the butterfly garden today. So wow, look at all that.
Okay, so I want to mention something about this guy here. These with the long, narrow wings are called heliconia. And so the heliconias, you have a lot of different ones that are heliconia. All with those long, skinny wings are heliconias. This one here is called a postman. And then there's one that's striped. It's called a zebra. So they all are heliconias. And guess what? Heliconias live longer than most butterflies. And the reason is in the wild, they will eat pollen from the flowers, and the pollen has protein. And they have been documented to live at least 3 months. So we love to take care of our butterflies here. We have as many nectar plants as we can, but guess what? It's winter, and we don't have as many flowers as we would if we had a lot of hot sun. So we make up a nectar with sugar water, and we add a little bit of amino acids in it. And that amino acids, they really like that. And you can see over there on that tree there.
Yeah, we'll just walk over there. So you were saying it's sugar water with amino acids in it,
right?
Which is fantastic. We're just going to walk over there because we've got some butterflies that are enjoying the fruit, and then that sponge with the sugar water and amino acids.
Right. And what you use for amino acids then is you put a splash of soy sauce.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. That's what
so
we do.
Butterflies like a little soy sauce mixed in with their sugar water. Who would have known that?
I know, it's a secret.
If you knew that in the comments, tell us. I knew that butterflies loved soy sauce. I didn't know that.
Okay, and so you can also buy a mixture at the like the Birds Unlimited store for hummingbirds, and that has sucrose, fructose, and amino acids in it, and we sometimes use that as well. And so if a person wanted to try to feed butterflies in their garden, like in a dish situation like this, they could use that. And you know, butterflies really aren't coming around now till it gets real hot.
Yeah.
But
one of the blooms that I love the most inside the butterfly garden, Christine, is right over here. Tell us about the lotus.
Oh, isn't this nice?
The lotus is absolutely spectacular.
Okay,
so tell us a little bit about this. Those are the purple flowers that are down there
so,
among the lily pads.
So those are lilies, actually. That's actually a water lily, not a lotus.
Okay.
And so what's cool about these is that they open up in the afternoon, which is the afternoon right now. But in the morning when we're all working around here, they're closed. And I love seeing the butterflies landing on the lily pads. I think it's very charming.
Yeah.
So
let's take a look at some more of the butterflies, because we still have 2 cases out here. And we have all kinds of different kinds of butterflies in here. So what's this one right here?
Okay, this is a cool one. You'll like this one. So there, I have about 4 of them. Maybe I'll get one on me here. And
It's this one right here that we're trying to get.
Right. So
there we go.
It. And it's called a malachite. Okay? And malachite's green. So these guys are green. Very, very lovely. A malachite, a favorite. And this, well, I'm going to show you this yellow one here. Actually, this yellow one looks similar to ones we have called cabbage or sulfurs. We have this in our area. There's a couple different variations of it. And you see a white one on your cabbage plants. And remember now, when you have those worms on your cabbage plants, they turn into nice little moths. So don't smash them. Okay, and look at this. I love this one. This is a longwing. But guess what? This is called Sara longwing, and she's got orange legs. Of all the butterflies we have, she's the only one that has orange legs.
Do you know why they have orange legs?
I don't. But I'm always looking for someone named Sara when I release the butterflies. I'm going to put her on. A lot of times they're not ready for nectar immediately when they come out of the box.
She really blends in with the plant here.
Yeah. I'll show you this one here. This is the postman. Now the postman has got an interesting name, and the reason they call him the postman is because they noticed that when they were studying him, that he would go to the same plants in the same order every day. So they said he's kind of like the postman, you know? He visits the same plants in the same order.
So this is the postman, and the orange one again is
Sara Longwing.
Sara Longwings. Do we have any children watching whose name is Sara? If so, this butterfly shares your name, Sara Longwings. And again, our postman. And this is a cool one too. What's this one?
This is the bamboo page.
The bamboo page.
Yes.
Beautiful wings.
Yes, and this one is a Doris Longwing, I believe, or similar to a Doris Longwing.
Doris Longwing. And look here. Wow, here comes some more.
And so I made a mention to you zebra longwing. So this is a zebra longwing. And actually, I want you to get a picture of that because the zebra longwing, here they are, can be found in Florida. Well, that's not a zebra longwing, but the first one that you had, I think this is one right here. This is one. So this is found in North Florida and sometimes into Georgia. So.
Okay, tell us about this butterfly again.
So this is the Heliconia longwing. They live longer than a lot of butterflies because in the wild they eat nectar and pollen, which has protein that helps them live longer. And so you could possibly find this in your garden, especially if you lived in Georgia or South Georgia. Now look at this. Check this out. This is, luckily I have another one of those. Yep. This is our Monarch, okay? She's got a polka dot body. She's one of the prettiest butterflies we have. Okay, we start seeing monarchs in our garden about April.
She landed right on you, so I'm going to kind of focus on that for a second. Tell us about the monarchs and what's been going on. They've been in the news a lot, and we've seen different stories about, are their populations starting to stabilize, or are they still declining in the wild?
They're still declining. They had a large area of the place they go to in Mexico get destroyed, and then they had a lot of their sanctuaries in California got destroyed as well from the drought. This one here, well, I was going to show you.
We still have one on your shoulder.
But I was going to show you the difference between a male and female monarch.
Okay.
See this one? This is, and on the male, there's 2 dots. But that one doesn't have dots. Let's see if we can find dots on this one. And we got one left. Let's see. You a boy? It's the only difference. Be gentle with you. And that's a girl. So anyway, that's a monarch. The boys have 2 spots on the bottom. Okay. And we do monarch tagging.
This one's very fond of you. It's now on your hair.
Very good. All right. Okay.
This is one of the reasons, we'll have you turn around just for a second because this is kind of fun. This is one of the reasons that we have 2 vestibules coming in and out of the butterfly garden. When we do have guests in the building, we have to make sure that there aren't any hitchhikers. And sometimes a silly little butterfly will get on somebody's back or on the back of their head and they could walk around not even knowing it's there.
Right. And we find
so we make sure that they don't accidentally hitch a ride outside of this very special butterfly garden here at the aquarium.
We do have horticulture volunteers that help us get ready in the morning before we open at 10 and they water. And I have one little guy that works Tuesday, Thursdays, and when he works, he has butterflies on his shoulders and on his head. When he works, pretty fun.
That's not a bad job.
No. There's the bamboo cage.
Yeah,
right.
That's a beautiful butterfly.
It really is, and it doesn't mind walking on your finger, whereas some of them take off.
Yeah.
But he's real cooperative.
Now there are different kinds of color schemes for butterflies. And basically there's 2, right? One for camouflage and one to alert predators that, hey, maybe I don't taste good.
That's right. Like when they're closed, look at a lot of butterflies are brown when they're closed and they're at rest and you wouldn't notice them. And
certainly the blue morpho is a good example of that.
That's exactly right. Look at the side of that blue morpho. You wouldn't notice it, and then if you took some flying, it would scare a predator.
They have that beautiful coloration inside their wings that helps protect them for predators, but that brown coloration really looks like the native foliage and helps them be camouflaged. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and submit them in the comments. We'll try to answer as many as possible. We know that a lot of people are super butterfly fans, and so people have been asking, can we see butterflies? So we thought we'd take this opportunity today to bring you inside the butterfly garden Such a relaxing place with the waterfalls in here, all the bright blooms. One of my favorite times to come over here is in January and February when it's still kind of chilly, and you can enjoy the tropical warmth of this butterfly garden and really kind of take a mini vacation, if you will, while you're here at the Tennessee Aquarium.
So, you know, you're talking about people getting their gardens ready, and if people use native plants, well, those plants are from here, and so our butterflies that live here, they like our plants, like from Georgia and Tennessee. So when you go to the garden center, get plants from your area, native plants. If you get plants from, like, you know, the Mediterranean that bloom all, our butterflies don't even go to them. So in other words, you want to give food to our butterflies. So you want to grow stuff that grows in Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah, and there's kind of that double benefit too, because not only do you have the beautiful blooms in your yard, but you're also attracting some beautiful butterflies to your lawn as well. A lot of opportunities to enjoy nature and do the kinds of things that you would normally be doing anyway.
Yeah.
But if you're going to invest in money to plant some blooming flowers in your yard, we urge you to consider adding some native species. We're going to take a look at these guys getting their orange juice this morning. This is their vitamin C.
Yeah, I meant to show you all. I think what's happening is it's turning to alcohol when it ferments. So they're having a drink, probably.
These guys are so cool. And look at all these back here. There's our collection of butterflies. A monarch butterfly. We look forward to seeing them later in spring.
So that should come through in April and then again in September.
Christine says that the monarch butterflies will migrate through the Tennessee Valley in April, and then starting in September they'll come back through. And you know, Christine, monarch butterflies are really little miracles. Talk about their migration, because it's one of the most incredible animal migrations in the world.
It's really interesting. So they are spending the winter in a tree that's cold but not freezing. So they want to stay around, you know, between 32 and 40, so that they're not active but they're not frozen. And so then they wake up in March, and they're in Mexico in these forests, and then they fly. They just have this urge to fly and mate, and they fly to Texas, Oklahoma. They are looking for milkweed. And so what Monarch Watch has asked people to do that live along from Texas all the way north is to plant milkweed in their yard. So these guys are hungry late March, April. Now that's still a little early for us to have spring, but down there in Texas it's not. And so they have their first generation. So they'll lay eggs on milkweed, and then the caterpillars eat it, turn into a beautiful butterfly. That's first generation. They fly up to like Illinois and Tennessee, that's us. And they're looking for milkweed. This is around April. So we gotta have our milkweed out and nectar for those guys. And you know, it's just real important with all of the things being cut down that we offer the nectar and the milkweed. So then they'll lay eggs, have caterpillars, turn into a chrysalis, emerge again. This is the second time. They fly a little bit north. They'll go to like Minnesota, Wisconsin, whatever. Do it again. Look for milkweed along the roads in your garden. Lay eggs on the milkweed. The caterpillars eat the milkweed, make a chrysalis. A week later, they emerge. They go to Canada. This is their last place, and this is their final generation, the super generation. And they will look for milkweed in Canada, lay eggs, eat the milkweed, and turn into chrysalis. And then when those emerge, that's a super generation. And they want to get all the way to Mexico. Sometimes they stop and have another generation. They will fly on a air current. But what's important in September is for us to have nectar like asters for those guys as they come down to head to Mexico.
Yeah, it's an incredible story, and it's incredible to think that a monarch butterfly this big can fly all the way from Canada to Mexico, only stopping to get nectar and refuel on their way. So in the fall, when you see those monarch butterflies in the area, just know that that's one of those incredible super generation butterflies that started its journey in Canada and is on its way to Mexico.
And we hope you'll plant nectar plants in the summer
Yeah,
for those guys.
Absolutely. Christine, thank you for your time. I think I'm just going to wander around just a little bit. We'll try to get some close-ups of butterflies for our butterfly fans. If we see any more questions that pop up, we'll stop back over here and talk to Christine. But for now, let's just kind of wander around and see if we can get some close-ups of some of these gorgeous butterflies.
Now we do have some butterflies emerging in the cases over there.
This will give us some quiet time to just kind of enjoy the sights of the butterfly garden. Wow, look at this guy's wings. We will take you over. Someone asked about the butterfly chrysalis, and this is where the chrysalis are. Christine's back to show us one we didn't get to see before.
Look at now when he's closed, he's just plain brown. But look at how spectacular.
Oh look, it's like it's polka dot.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
It's called the shoemaker.
Shoemaker.
And there's this is the male. And the female's a little different, but both of them when they're closed, they're brown like that.
Look at those polka dots. That's very cool.
Yeah. And some of these chrysalis, you were over here looking at the chrysalises in the window. You see that little gold on there? They're like jewelry. And you're wondering how can an ugly caterpillar make this beautiful little chrysalis that turns into this beautiful butterfly that he doesn't look at all like what he came from.
Yeah, there's the shoemaker with that line of dots right in a row. Very cool. It's been kind of a gloomy, rainy day in Chattanooga today. So I'm thankful for this opportunity to be in kind of this bright, warm spot to take a look.
This is the female of that shoemaker. See, it looks the same when they're closed, but she's not as wild looking as the male.
The male is the one that has the orange dots across the wing. The female has the yellow bands, but they look the same when the wings are folded up.
Yeah.
Take a gander over here for a couple minutes. We do have some blue morphos. There's a blue morpho over here, right? Here's one right here that's on the table for Earlier he was kind of opening and closing his wings, but you can certainly see that blue coloration, even though for the time being he's kind of just resting here comfortably. Blair, you're right. We think caterpillars are beautiful too, and they have some remarkable adaptations and types of caterpillars. Certain colors are used for protection, some are used for camouflage, and some are just to alert predators that, hey, I might taste bad.
Hey, so I got a fun fact for you. You know how some people get this ugly big caterpillar on the tomatoes, and they wonder where did that come from? It comes from a moth, and if you look it up, tomato hornworm, it turns into the most beautiful moth. I know people don't like to get their tomatoes eaten up, but
Addison, thanks for the question. That's a very good question. Yes, some butterflies prefer to eat certain kinds of nectar, which is dependent on where they're originally native to. For example, plants in one part of the world, in Costa Rica, for example, are much different than here in the United States. But some butterflies actually prefer to eat the fruit rather than eating nectar. And so that's why we provide some of these butterflies with fruit. Thank you for asking that question. Here's some of our butterflies enjoying a little vitamin C. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this trip to the aquarium's butterfly garden. We hope that you will stay connected with us by going to the aquarium's website and looking at all of the educational materials that we have posted on our Aquarium at Home page. We hope that you will download some of those sheets, print them out, and have some fun with the activity sheets, learn a little bit more, watch our live cameras, and then tune in. We're trying to have these Facebook Live events every day at 1 o'clock. We've got some great programs that are lined up for the rest of this week, and we're looking at more for next week, and we sure appreciate you tuning in. We'd also like to remind everybody that at the top of our homepage on our website, we have a big Donate Now button, which helps support our Emergency Operations Fund. Certainly challenging for a nonprofit aquarium like ours to continue all of the work that's being done, not only to care for the animals right now, but also to continue our conservation work. We're still caring for brook trout that'll be going out in May. We still have some lake sturgeon that will be released later this spring as well. All of our conservation work, all of our education programs, all of the good work that the aquarium does will restart just as soon as possible, just as soon as it's safe for everybody to come back and visit. But in the meantime, we hope you'll support us by contributing a little bit to our Emergency Operations Fund. Once again, thanks everybody for joining us today. We hope that you enjoyed this little trip to the Tennessee Aquarium's Butterfly Garden.